drastic damage this does to the rest of the body in the process. We have to look for something safe and affordable that doesn't harm the patient. We need new professions of health educators, health consultants, with a focus on science-based natural health. The basic principles of natural health that I talked about at the beginning of my talk this evening should be taught in schools. This should be taught in schools. Eventually it will be, but we don't have to wait until then. This information is available now, and we can start in our own homes, educating ourselves, our friends and our families. The fifth goal, in some ways, is the most important of all. It's certainly no less important. It's to end the pharma industry's monopoly on healthcare, and to replace it with a new system that's orientated in the interests of the people, not in the interest of profits. Put the people first. The safety of the therapies and the effectiveness of the therapies has to be the first priority. At the political level, we have a campaign that some of you, maybe most of you, I don't know, may already be familiar with. It's our European Referendum initiative. I talked earlier about the lack of democracy at the executive level in Europe. This has to be something that we address. This has to be something that we try to change, because without it, nothing else will be possible. There are three parts to this campaign. There are three petitions that make this campaign. The first one is a petition rejecting the Lisbon Treaty. I talked earlier about the Lisbon Treaty. I guess the reasons why we should reject it are obvious. I don't need to say too much about that. The petition for Europe for the people and by the people, this is a mini constitution for Europe that was written by the survivors of Auschwitz. August Kowalczyk being one of them. These men saw the very worst that industrial cartels could bring upon Europe. They lived through it, and they were amongst the very, very few who managed to survive. This petition talks about the issues of patents that I talked about earlier. It talks about the rights to health and life being fundamental for all of us. And finally, we have a petition for a referendum on natural remedies. This, as I think Virgil said earlier, has already been signed by 43,000 people from Romania. Very impressive. Already at the European level, we have over 250,000 people that have signed it. It's very impressive. It's not yet enough, but it shows us that we're doing something and heading in the right direction. I would urge you to support all three of those petitions. We have people in all 27 European countries now who've signed them, which says something, I think, about the effectiveness of the campaign and the way in which it's spreading at its rapid pace. The website's available in 9 languages, including Romanian now. If you are fluent in another language that's not mentioned on that list and would like to help us produce a translation in it, please let myself or Virgil know tonight, because we'll be very, very grateful for your help and support in reaching other people in other countries in larger numbers. So support the campaign, bring these 3 petitions to the attention of everybody that you know. My final message, really, this evening, before we'll move to some questions afterwards if you want, but my final message is this, is that change is only possible if we can turn knowledge into action. It's great that you've come here tonight at such short notice. I think it's only a period of about 3 weeks that Virgil has taken to organise tonight. He's done a splendid job, but coming here is only the first step. go home tonight and say, well, that was interesting, what's on television? That's not really what it's about, I'm afraid. This can only work if you help us by spreading this information to other people. It's good if you've enjoyed it tonight. It's great that you've come tonight. But if you go home and then keep this information to yourself, the process stops. It can't go any further unless you turn this knowledge into action. Virgil is, in this region of Romania, Virgil is our channel for this. He is the coordinator for all of our actions from now on. So I would urge you to work with him on this. Our goal being to help to create a Europe that's more